Hi everyone, this is John here. Today I'm going to talk about a topic called as artificial intelligence. So you heard about it. This is one of the hot topics that currently we are having in IT industry. Before jumping into the topic, I just give an overview. I have been working in the IT industry for quite some time. That's around 10 plus years. I have been working in this IT industry. So I'll just share my thoughts what exactly artificial intelligence is all about. Okay, let's get started on this. Okay. So, what is artificial intelligence? So, if you see, artificial intelligence is one of the hot topics that, as I said earlier, before jumping into the topic, we should know what is artificial intelligence is, which category it falls under. I have made a previous video which talks about how IT industry is being categorized. It generally is categorized as architecture, design, people, process, and infrastructure and technology. So if you ask me where artificial intelligence falls under, it falls under a category of infrastructure and technology. So in that category is where artificial intelligence falls under. Okay, so this is something that I have added it in all my previous videos also. So this is something that everyone should be aware of, and that's the reason I'm just bringing this categorization here. So let's go and see what artificial intelligence is. It's nothing but it's a way of making a computer behave like a human. So that's what we are trying to that's what we are trying to achieve it as part of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence making computers behave like human in simple terms. So artificial intelligence can be classified into three categories. One is artificial narrow intelligence. Second one would be artificial general intelligence, artificial super intelligence. So already you'd be already hearing we have a lot of artificial intelligence, those kind of things you have been hearing around. Yes, we are already in that journey. We have started our journey, namely in the IT industry. IT industry started embracing artificial intelligence very rapidly for the past few years. And currently, you have heard about Alexa, Google Assistant, Siri, all these things. It all falls under the category of artificial narrow intelligence, and it is also a weak AI. That's what you can call it. It is not a strong AI. It's called a weak AI. Whereas if you take this artificial general intelligence and artificial super intelligence, they are what to say more towards making like how far you are able to achieve the human intelligence. That is what the categorization is there. If you are able to achieve 100% the human intelligence behavior, then it is called as artificial general intelligence. Whereas if you are exceeding that particular human intelligence, it's called as artificial super intelligence. So these two falls in the category of strong AI. We are still in the weak AI. We are in that particular category only because we're trying to just mimic only one or two features, or I would say individual capabilities of a particular human brain. That is what you're trying to concentrate on. So after saying this, like just give some examples of where are artificial intelligence is applied in today's world. As you said earlier, you have already heard about Siri and Alexa. These are some of the things that are there. It falls as one of the applications that you are able to see it here. Google Photos, you have seen your photos are already organized by itself. It falls under image recognition. Then in real time in the Amazon websites, it automatically gives recommendations for you. If you go to Gmail, you have seen that your spam mails are already identified and it's getting tracked. All these things, whatever things that you are seeing everywhere, artificial intelligence is being implemented, but a kind of a small, it's not like all the features are there. Some features are being implemented and it is slow, day by day, it is getting improved. That's what I would say. The improvement is going to keep on happening. And we have already autopilot feature is available in namely in aeroplanes. This is another very big thing that is artificial intelligence is there for a very quite long time. But we people as general people, we are not aware of it because we don't use it. Only a certain set of people are using it in the airline industry. So these are some of the applications where artificial intelligence are there, just to give a kind of idea of what exactly we are. So when we talk about artificial intelligence means generally we are mainly we are, as I said earlier, we are trying to mimic some of the uh, features of what our human brain is trying to do. So that particular features, how our human brain is learning is based upon the information that is available. That kind of that is going to be the input for us to learn things. The same way in artificial intelligence also, when we want to make our computers behave like a human, in that scenario, you require data. Data is going to play a vital role in our artificial intelligence. Okay, so if we talk about data, there are two types of things that comes into picture. One is the structured data and unstructured data. What is structured data is, so for example, if you see in this particular diagram, here you can see that this is something about a particular weather station, yeah, which year, and day, month, all that information, minimum temperature, maximum temperature, all this information has been captured. So this data, whatever data that you're seeing, right, 2009, what are this sample one that we are talking about, each and every column as a, we have already identified what is the meaning for this particular column is, what exactly the data represents. That kind of information is already defined. That is what we call a structured data. Generally, this kind of data you can see it in your SQL databases and relational databases like DB2, Oracle. All these things are commonly, which is there in legacy systems. You can see this kind of things. Next comes the unstructured data. What is that unstructured data is? Like what we have your YouTube videos, your Facebook videos, your images, audio, and text messages. You are what to say? Text Facebook. You are giving some comments about a particular image. So that is also a data. So that data is going to be a text message, or you're giving some smileys. These are all falls under the category of unstructured data. If you ask me whether you can categorize what kind of this data is, that is going to be very, very difficult one. And this kind of data, we're trying to extract information from this data is little going to be a, as humans, we can do it. Yes, we are capable of understanding it, hear it, and then we can do it. But how to make computers to do it, that is what we are trying to achieve right now. So this data, unstructured data, generally they are stored it namely in the NoSQL database, namely the object-oriented databases, where we don't store it in the form of the relational format, or in other words, like in the traditional way, we don't store it, we store it as objects. So that is where this particular AI comes, data plays an important role in the world of AI. So if you take artificial intelligence, you will be hearing that a lot of things are there in artificial intelligence, but artificial intelligence is a superset, I would say. So if you see inside that, this particular diagram, you can see so artificial intelligence is there from 1970s onwards. It's not just something which popped up now. The reason why everyone is talking about artificial intelligence right now is artificial intelligence is, I would say, like it became more prominent now because we have a lot of data coming in, lot of processing power has come in, and as a result of all these things, our artificial intelligence has gained importance. That's what I would say. So if you see artificial intelligence is going to be it's going to be everything which is there, which is what to say, which is capable of mimicking a human brain. That is what artificial intelligence is. Inside that we have subcategories like called as machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of your artificial intelligence. Then a subset of machine learning is deep learning, and further subset of the deep learning is going to be neural networks. So based upon the data, machine learning, so if you see here, machine learning is nothing but it is learns by itself based upon the data. You provide the data. We provide generally structured data to it, and based on that, it will be trying to learn things. That is, you give, what kind of data that you're providing to it. Based on that, it will try to predict the data, what is going to be the next data that is going to happen. So if you see in deep learning is nothing but it is again a subset of our machine learning. Whereas if you take in machine learning, you require a little bit of human intervention will be required in order to make this particular system understand the things. Whereas if you take in care of deep learning, human intervention would be not required. Without that itself, it will try to change things and then try to adjust to that particular data. It will take some time. It won't be like 100% perfect, but it will take some time to become perfect. So it will be again a lot of resource oriented, or in other words, it will consume a lot of CPU power, memory, everything, all the resources it will be consuming. It is going to be a very resource hungry activity if you take in care of deep learning. Machine learning also same thing. Or whenever you take artificial intelligence means it is going to be resource hungry. That is what I can say. So if next is comes the neural networks. Actually, neural networks is the one which actually I would say it's that particular branch is the one which mainly concentrates on mimicking our human brain. Overall, AI itself is mimicking human brain only, but still neural networks mainly concentrates on mimicking our human brain. We will be that's the reason you will see that name neural networks. So in our human brain, we have a lot of neurons. You take a neuron, if you take in a neuron, you give some inputs, it gives an output. That kind of approach is what neural network also follows. If you take a basic neural network, it consists of three important things. One is the input layer, a hidden layer, and the output layer. So if you see each and every circles that you're seeing here, that corresponds to one node. That node is nothing but it would be like kind of a mathematical expression. It would be there, and it will be doing some calculation, and based on that, you would be able to send that information to the next layer, next layer, and that is going to be the hidden layer, and the hidden layer is again going to do that kind of calculations. It will be going to give the output to the output layer. So if you take in case of I would say hidden layer, it is not that it should be always only one. It can be more than one, and the more and more hidden layers are there, your complexity of your neural network is going to increase. So you'd be asking, okay, let's see what the difference between this machine learning and deep learning. So again, it's based upon the data that is operating. If you're taking machine learning, it's a neural network, but it's going to have only one hidden layer. Whereas if you take in the case of deep learning, it is going to have multiple hidden layers. So if you see here in machine learning, there's one more difference. It mainly concentrates on processing the structured data. Whereas if you take in deep learning, we concentrate on processing the unstructured data. If you take in machine learning, supervised learning, otherwise human intervention will be required. We call it as supervised learning. Whereas in deep learning, unsupervised learning is what we are going to concentrate on, and it is going to handle they're going to be handled what to say by itself. Human intervention is going to be very less. Okay, and these are the main differences that you can see. And here I've also added something called a forward progression and backward propagation. Propagation, I'm sorry about that mispronouncement. So forward propagation and the backward propagation. So what is this forward propagation? So when you're giving some input to the input layer, and what happens is it's going to go and make some changes in the hidden layers, and finally you get the output. So this is not going to be 100% perfect because you're going to feed in unstructured data. So unstructured data means you provide video, images, that kind of things. If you provide it, how it can mimic our human brain? It's going to be tough. Okay, so that is what is going to be there. So the kind of changes that are going to be happening in each and every node, namely in the input layer and the hidden layer, it will be going to go. The changes are going to be going on. The changes in each and every node, it is going to go step by step from the left to right. That is the reason it's called as forward propagation. Whereas if you take in the case of backward propagation, what exactly happens is based on the output, you go back or the traverse back, go and make the changes in each and every node. So that is what we call as a backward propagation. So artificial intelligence, if you see, all the companies are trying to race towards it and try to gain knowledge about it. So if you take if you want to have artificial intelligence in your company, these are the steps that are required. First of all, you should have the right kind. You should collect the data which is required or already available in the company, outside the company, whatever it is. You have to collect the data, and that data should not have any what to say like legal issues. Trusted data, you should have it, and it should not be a fake data. That kind of information you have to filtering out, cleaning up. You have to organize that particular data, and after that you have to analyze that particular data using this algorithm, namely this machine learning, neural networks, whatever it is, different steps, different latest methodologies that are available. Right, all these things you apply it, and then try to apply that particular artificial intelligence, infuse that into your day-to-day life or another day-to-day IT industry applications you try to solve. So these are the different steps that if you want to implement artificial intelligence in a particular company, you should have all these phases. You have to go through these phases. And many people, what generally they just is, okay, I have data, I'll start implementing. Not fair. Data, you have to keep on, you have to implementing it. The data should keep on should coming in, and that data plays a very vital role in getting a right artificial intelligence application or the what say predictions, whatever it that we're talking about. It is very important going to be dependent on the data that we are collecting. So this is just an overview about artificial intelligence. I tried my level best to explain it. And the reference materials are here. These are the places where you can find what artificial intelligence, all these things which I have learned about it. Try to go through that. You'll get more details about it. Okay. So thanks for your time. I hope this will be a very useful session for you. If you like other videos, just go through those things also. I have made a couple of other videos related to different topics. I hope it would be useful for you those angles also. Thank you very much for your timing. Have a nice day.